WTO Goa, but Rahul Krar, my Rahul, he's like my second son. My very dear friend Yatin Kakodkar, whom I'm seeing after number of days really. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, moments like these, you don't know what to say. I'm never short of words, but moments like this, you feel humble, you feel grateful, you feel also responsible. I don't know how many days are left in my life, but this puts a responsibility on you to do even better than what you have done all your life, basically. It's a great honor, so I am most grateful to you for doing me this honor. Chief Minister Sahib, I must say something. Kala Academy has a magic. Whenever I have stood here, I feel different. I've never felt like that. I've spoken all around the world, but I never felt like what I do when I stand here. I mean it, I tell you. So the last time, I remember there was this Didi Kosambi Festival of Ideas. And there were 4 speakers, everyday one, and Dalai Lama spoke, then I spoke, Dr. Kalam spoke, Dr. Karan Singh spoke continuously. So first of all, to be counted amongst them was itself a great honor done to me by my Goa. That's number 1. Number 2, what followed was very interesting. I'm sorry, I'm a bit emotional about it, but I must repeat it. So what happened was that I was chairing that particular Goa Golden Jubilee Development Council, and we're creating that vision of Goa 2035. And I didn't want it to be a usual report. It was being done for my Goa. It had to be special. So we had these 7 arrows that we talked about. First was Suramya Goa, its natural beauty. I always say that Goa is the greatest gift God has given to India, Bharat. Second was Susanskrit Goa, culture, multicultural society that we have. Third is Santulit Goa, which Mangesh referred, balanced. Balancing environment, ecology, economics, equity and ethics. 5. Next was Suvidya Goa, enlightened Goa. Right? Samruddha Goa, of course, affluent Goa. Sushashit Goa, well-governed. And Swanandi Goa. Can you just imagine these 7 attributes? And I said, I'm saying this is a vision for 2035. Okay. I was born in 1943, so I said I will not be obviously there. But I don't want to speak like a scientist for a moment. And I would request God that maybe whatever remaining years of my life we have, you take them away and give me one day when I can come to earth on 2035, in 2035, and see my goal. It was Dr. Satish Shetty was conducting the conference. Now they call it fireside chat or whatever. And then it was thrown open to discussions. And somebody got up and said, we want you to be there, because the title of my talk was Making Impossible Possible, by the way. So we'll make the impossible possible. Each one of us here in this auditorium will donate 1 month of their life to you. I was touched. I felt like crying. The story doesn't end there. I was a visiting professor at Monash University, Delaware, where I was finishing the book, the preface of the book, my own book, the first chapter of my own book, Reinventing India. And there I got this letter from Shailesh Sanskiri. He said, yesterday was my 63rd birthday. I asked God to deduct 1 month from my life and donate it to you, from my account to your account. I hope others have done it. Tell me, where do you get such love, such affection? That's the greatest gift God has given to me. You know, on the other day, Krpa Shankarji had done this celebration in this coffee table book or something. I mean, right? And the entire corporate world was there. For example, entire Bajaj family was there. So many other families there. You were there. You saw that basically. And I said, I'm the richest person in the world with goodwill capital. If goodwill capital has to be counted as a richness, then I'm the richest person in the world. So I consider myself very, very fortunate, very, very sort of lucky. I would like to dedicate this honor to my mother, not only because she gave birth to me, but she did so many other things. On a public platform, I want to sort of talk about it. Just now, you heard about the 54 honorary doctorates. Yes, Dr. Kalam had the record of 48. Now I hold the record, national record. But there is something interesting about it. But for my mother, it would not have happened. Then you will say, what role has she played in that? I'll tell you the role she played. As you know, I was born in a very poor family and walked barefoot until 12, studied under street lights, and it was a Tata scholarship because of which I could study. Every day was a struggle. Every day my mother had to go for seeking some jobs, some stitching, something, some jobs here and there. So she had gone to Congress House near Prarthana Samaj. She stood in a queue, and when her turn came, they asked her, are you 3rd standard pass? She had never lied in her life. She said, no, I have not gone to school, so how can I be 3rd standard pass? Then you won't get the job. And while she was returning, she said to herself, I've been insulted today because I don't have education. I'm going to make sure that my son has whatever the highest degree is, I don't know what it is, basically. Then, of course, I became BChem, Bachelor Degree in Chemical Engineering. And I had a job also, got a job, offer of a job. She said, no, I found out there is a PhD. You have to do the PhD. When I did my PhD, she found out there is a postdoctoral. She kept on pushing me. When I got my 25th honorary doctorate, I remember, this was 3 months before she passed away. She said, now I'm happy, I can go. Can you just imagine a lady who never went to school, never got educated, pushed me. She was very hard, on me in terms of values, in terms of standards. Like, for example, I would get 100 out of 100 in mathematics. Occasionally, I'll get 97. I was happy. She would make me sit. I was happy with the 97. She would be asking me, where did you lose those 3 marks? That is when I was that young. Whatever I am today is because of that. And the last point I'd like to make, actually. And sir, that has to do with what I gave you just now. What happened was that I was Director General of CSIR and I had to operate from Delhi, 40 national laboratories. And I have been one of them. And I remember I never left research. Every Friday evening I will come and my students will see me right at the airport, by the way, and our discussions will start from there. And I would spend the weekend in the lab and go back to Delhi. And I have this habit of always carrying some money in my pocket. Forget about the credit cards and all that, but I carry that. So whatever money I used to have, I used to give it to her. Never asked her what she did with that. And when she passed away, my daughter Shruti was organizing her things, saris and all that, and she found all that money there. With a little chit in Marathi, of course, which said that don't forget our beginnings and do something who do science for the poor. And at that time I had got some award and all that, so I put it together and created Anjani Mashelkar Foundation. And today you talked a lot about innovation and research and this, that and the other. But I set different standards for this award. I said, I don't believe in best practice. I believe in next practice. Because bulk of the time we are saying we are following the best practice. So that means we are copying. I don't want India to be a copying nation. I want us to create next practice which become the best practice for others. So the award goes there. The second was making high technology work for the poor. And the third was affordable excellence. Affordable excellence, because normally what is affordable is not excellent, what is excellent is not affordable. And sir, you will, being yourself a professional in medical science, you would know that diagnosis is most critical. Early diagnosis, you have breast cancer, early diagnosis, you are said, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, gone. Not only lakhs of rupees for chemotherapy otherwise. So we focused on diagnosis and breakthrough, which were ahead of the rest of the world. So what kind of diagnosis? For example, breast cancer, and I'm very happy that Goa, with Honorable Health Minister yourself, you had this lead in looking at that. So that was one of our award winners, by the way, IBRACE. Similarly, oral cancer. Every 12 minutes, one person dies in India because of oral cancer. So we have a breakthrough where it's a toothbrush looking like a system, but very intricate technology where you just move it in your mouth and you know. So what happens, there's a spectrum of light that is thrown and you have lesions and wherever there is a cancer lesion, what is absorbed, what is reflected is captured in image and artificial intelligence is used to sort of TB, for example, you take a mobile, you cough into it, and you know whether you have TB or not. How? The audiometry is trained with cough as a biomarker, okay, with a huge amount of data. And this you can quite clearly see. If you have a spirometer, 1.5 lakh of rupees, here you already have the phone. Spirometer takes around 45 minutes. Plus minus 15. Here, instant spirometer, you will take 1,000 rupees plus minus, because there are technicians that are involved. Here, 10 rupees. Affordable excellence. Okay? And these are all FDA approved, by the way. Last award we gave was, you put your finger and you know your sugar. By the way, the higher and technical education Minister of Maharashtra uses that. You just touch and you get the. Now see the difference for a diabetic. Normally the strip that you use, 15 to 25 rupees. On the life of a diabetic, this is just 25 paise. Same thing about hemoglobin, for example. You put your finger and you get the reading, just 10 rupees. No prick, no blood taken, no nothing. So what we have done is that we have taken some of these key equipment and put them into what is called as a FX healthcare kit. And it's on a digital platform. It's on a digital, so traceability, everything, and so on and so forth, all the data and so on. And this is spreading all over. And I'm very happy to say, I think the formal announcement will come from you, but we have been in discussion for using these and so on and so forth. And I understand that it has progressed so well that this is something that with the Directorate of Health Services will be working together. Because our public health centers, they need strengthening across the country. Now remember the magic. You might say, but how much does it cost and what does it mean? Take home the numbers. The numbers are 20, 10, 100. 20 parameters, whether it is blood pressure, whether it is blood sugar, whether it is hemoglobin, whether it is heart murmur, whether it is COPD, all right, and so on and so forth. 20 parameters measured in 10 minutes for just 100 rupees. $1. Can you just imagine what difference it is going to make by such breakthroughs, affordable excellence? So I kept the word I gave to my mother, wherever she is watching, that do something for those who do science for the poor and do science for the poor. This is science for the poor, but as you can quite clearly see, this being affordable excellence, now we are getting demand from around. Because as long as it is excellent, the whole world will be your marketplace. And as long as it is affordable, it will serve the people of India. I think that's the most important part. So I feel very happy. So just wanted to leave these two sort of memories because at this point, while sitting here in this great Kala Academy in my Goa, I feel very proud to dedicate this to my dear mother. And thank you very much for doing me that.